Hello, sweetheart. You know what's absolutely hilarious? We live in a universe that's constantly creating billions of stars, growing forests from tiny seeds, and somehow managing to keep our hearts beating without us even thinking about it. Yet we're over here worried about paying rent next month. I mean, really? The same intelligence that orchestrates the entire cosmos is somehow stumped by your grocery bill? Listen, darling, if you've clicked on this video, I'm betting you're tired of feeling like you're always one step behind, always scraping by, always wondering when your ship is going to come in. And let me guess, you've probably tried everything, haven't you? You've budgeted until your eyes bled, worked extra hours until you forgot what your living room looked like, and maybe even bought a few lottery tickets with that secret hope that maybe, just maybe, this time would be different. Well, honey, I've got news for you. The problem isn't that there's not enough to go around. The problem is that you've been trying to fill a spiritual hole with material solutions, and that's like trying to water a plant with orange juice. It might work for a hot minute, but eventually, everything's going to get sticky and weird. Here's what nobody tells you about lack. It's not actually about money. I know. When your bank account is doing its best impression of a barren wasteland, it sure feels like it's about money. But lack is really about your relationship with the universe itself. It's about whether you believe you're worthy of abundance, or if you think you have to fight tooth and nail for every crumb that falls from life's table. You see, most of us grew up with some pretty interesting ideas about money and abundance. Maybe you heard that money doesn't grow on trees, that you have to work hard for everything you get, or that wanting more makes you greedy. And while there's certainly wisdom in hard work and gratitude for what we have, somewhere along the way we started believing that struggle was a virtue and that ease was somehow cheating. But here's the thing, and this might blow your mind. The universe doesn't actually care about your struggle. In fact, it's set up to provide for you abundantly. Look around you right now. The air you're breathing? Free. The sun that warms your face? No monthly subscription required. The love in your heart? Unlimited supply. No batteries needed. The challenge is that we've trained our minds to focus on what's missing instead of what's flowing. We've become professional lack spotters, expert shortage finders, Olympic-level worry manufacturers. We can spot a problem from 3 miles away, but somehow miss the miracle sitting right in front of us. Now, I'm going to share something with you that might sound almost too simple to be true, but I promise you, simplicity is where the magic lives. For the next 7 days, I want you to say these 7 statements 3 times each day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once before bed. And I want you to say them like you mean it, not like you're reciting your grocery list. Here's the first one. I have a wonderful work in a wonderful way. I give wonderful service for wonderful pay. Now don't start rolling your eyes and thinking about your current job situation. This isn't about your boss or your co-workers or that person in accounting who microwaves fish in the break room. This is about aligning your mind with the idea that you can contribute something valuable to the world and be abundantly compensated for it. The second statement is, God is my instant, constant, and abundant supply. Whether you call it God, universe, source, or Gary, whatever floats your spiritual boat. The point is acknowledging that your supply doesn't come from your job, your spouse, or your investment portfolio. It comes from an infinite source that never runs dry. Third, there is no lack in divine mind. Whatever I need is already mine. This one's a doozy because it requires you to expand your concept of how things work. You're not trying to get something that doesn't exist. You're claiming something that's already yours in the realm of possibility. Fourth, unexpected doors fly open, unexpected channels are free, and endless blessings flow to me. I love this one because it reminds us that solutions can come from anywhere. Maybe it's a random conversation, an opportunity you never saw coming, or an idea that pops into your head while you're brushing your teeth. Fifth, nothing can hinder the riches that are mine by divine right. This isn't about entitlement. It's about recognizing that abundance is your natural state. You don't have to earn your worth. You just have to stop blocking it. Sixth, all that is mine by divine right now comes to me under grace in perfect ways. Grace means it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to involve drama, struggle, or stepping on other people. It can flow to you easily and beautifully. And finally, The universe rushes to supply me with everything I desire and require. Picture that. The entire universe, in all its infinite wisdom and power, rushing to help you. Not walking slowly, not taking its sweet time, but actually rushing to support you. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds like positive thinking mumbo-jumbo. And to be fair, if you say these words while mentally listing all the reasons why they can't possibly be true, then yes, it will be about as effective as trying to fill a bucket with a giant hole in the bottom. But here's the scientific bit that might interest you. Your brain is constantly creating your reality based on what you focus on. It's called the reticular activating system, and it's basically your brain's spam filter. It decides what information gets through to your conscious awareness based on what it thinks is important to you. If you're constantly thinking about lack, your brain will dutifully point out every shortage, every bill, every problem. But if you start training your mind to look for abundance and opportunity, suddenly you'll start noticing things you never saw before. That networking event you would have ignored, that skill you could monetize, that person who might need exactly what you have to offer. The key is consistency and feeling. Don't just say the words, feel them. Imagine what it would be like if they were already true. What would you do differently? How would you walk through the world? How would you treat yourself and others? And here's a little secret. Start acting as if it's already true, even in small ways. If you had wonderful work that paid wonderfully, how would you show up today? If you knew the universe was rushing to supply you with everything you needed, what bold action might you take? If unlimited abundance was flowing to you, what generous act might you perform? I had a friend who started saying these statements when she was so broke she was eating cereal for dinner 3 nights a week. She felt ridiculous at first, but she kept at it. Within 2 weeks, she got a call about a freelance project that paid more than she'd made in months. Was it the affirmations? Was it coincidence? Does it matter? She's not eating cereal for dinner anymore, and that's what counts. Another person I know was stuck in a job that made him want to hide under his desk every morning. After a month of these daily declarations, he suddenly had the courage to apply for a position he thought was way out of his league. Not only did he get it, but they offered him more money than he'd even hoped for. Look, I'm not saying you're going to wake up tomorrow swimming in cash like some sort of financial Scrooge McDuck. What I am saying is that when you change your inner conversation, your outer world starts to shift. When you stop arguing for your limitations and start declaring your possibilities, life has a funny way of proving you right. The universe loves a decisive mind. It loves someone who stops whimpering about what's wrong and starts claiming what's right. It loves boldness, clarity, and unwavering faith in the good that's possible. So here's your assignment. And yes, I'm calling it an assignment because I want you to take this seriously. For the next 7 days, say these 7 statements 3 times a day. Write them down if you have to. Set alarms on your phone. Tape them to your bathroom mirror. I don't care if you have to tattoo them on your forehead. Well, actually, maybe don't do that. But you get the idea. And here's the important part. Pay attention to what happens. Notice the opportunities that show up. Notice how people respond to you differently. Notice the ideas that pop into your head. Notice how your energy shifts. Keep a little journal if you're feeling fancy, or just make mental notes. I guarantee you that if you do this consistently for 7 days with an open heart and mind, something will shift. Maybe it'll be dramatic, maybe it'll be subtle, but something will change. And that something might just be the beginning of the most abundant chapter of your life. So, are you ready to stop arguing for your limitations and start claiming your birthright of abundance? Are you ready to let the universe surprise you with how good life can actually get? Are you ready to discover what happens when you align your daily thoughts with your deepest desires? Then hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started on this journey together. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 7 statements resonates with you most. And if you're feeling brave, share this video with someone who needs to remember how powerful they really are. Remember, darling, you're not here to live small. You're here to shine, to prosper, to contribute your unique gifts to the world and be abundantly rewarded for it. The universe is on your side, and it's time you started acting like it. Now go forth and claim what's yours. The world is waiting to support you, and your abundance is waiting to unfold. Say those words, mean those words, and watch the magic begin.